Hey everybody, and welcome to my N5 series on the SP404 Mark II, where I cover a topic in about 5 minutes. Over on the SP404 Mark II Discord server, I forget who it was, but wasn't me personally, but somebody asked the question, how do you get a perfect loop and then record a tail? The reason why you'd worry about this is, let's say we've got just like these two samples. Well, if I go turn on reverbs with like extreme settings, you can hear like that kick just has a tail forever. Same thing for the snare. It just goes for a long time. So when you have a sample, when you start, that effect hasn't been kind of primed. So it's going to kind of sound a little different the first time usually than when it will when you go for like the second time and you've been looping over. If you have like a 1-bar loop, for example, that plays the same thing. So what we want to do is create two 1-bar loops. The first one's the first playthrough, the second one's the second playthrough. They'll be exactly the same, but will allow us to carry over. Then the third loop is going to have the tail so that we can have the tail without having that as a way to kind of exit a loop. So I'm just going to go create a pattern here. We're going to go record, pad 13. Let's go into TR-Rec, and we're going to make this not 2 bars. We're going to make it 3. So that we have the first one, second one, third one. So we're gonna hit record, and let's just grab the kick. Let's just do like a 4 on the floor kick. Do the same thing for the snare. And again, we're just doing this on the first and second bar. I mean, you can do it however you'd like, but let's get this going. Get some hats in here. So what we're trying to do is, again, record like our enter the loop, sustain the loop, and then like basically we've stopped the loop, but have that tail so we can play the tail separately. So we've got this now set up. What we can do, we're going to hit resample. I'm going to hit pad 1, and we're just going to hit the loop here to play. I'm going to hit start end because I want the end snap on so that we can get a perfectly 3-bar loop. We could do the copy, but the problem with the copy is, and I'll show you, but if you do copy instead of resample, it will get rid of that effect. So this is what we need to do. So we play it. As soon as we see it, like this marker go past 3-1 or 3-4 rather, we're going to hit record. So you hit record, it's going to put that in, it'll now come in. We've got the end marker at the end of the loop before it comes in and restarted playing. We just need to push menu, do truncate. So now we have a perfect 3-bar loop. We can chop that up and do all the fun stuff that we want to do with it. But let's go back to the pattern, and let's say we do copy instead. So we go copy, and then let's say we go to pattern, hit pattern select, and we do a sample instead. Just put on sample 2. Oh wait, actually I forgot. We put reverb back on so that it will be on. You'll see it goes off automatically. So we have it. We put it back on because when you do a resample, it disables the effect. But let's go copy pad 13, and then we want to hit pattern select. We'll go back to here. We're gonna hit A2. As soon as we hit copy for it to do pattern to sample, it's gonna do it. But at least the last time I did this, it didn't leave the effect on. If it does, that'll be awesome, but let's see. Complete. Turn the effect off. Yeah, see, with the effect's sitting there, but it recorded it dry. So that's not what we want. So we've now got this sample that's got the start, middle, tail. And what we can do now with this sample is hit shift, start, and end to get into chop mode. Go to menu, go auto mark. We're going to say time division. Whoops. Time division. We want to say 3 so that we can split this into 3 separate loops. So again, it's going to be start, middle, end, which is perfect. We're going to go menu, we're going to assign to pad, start, middle, tail, hit enter. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the loop on for this. You can kind of hear when it when it loops, it kind of feels like that space is sucked away for a second. That's basically because it doesn't have any reverb. If we do the second one here, turn gate off, loop on, it should loop perfectly. Yeah, that sounds great. Whereas if you listen to this one more time, you hear when it loops, it sucks out that reverb energy. And then we get this tail. So what we can do now that we've got these separated, if we wanted to, I mean, you could play them by hand and kind of do something like that. I didn't do it perfectly, but we can also take those and now we can play those as basically rendered down parts of the pattern, and we could actually reproduce this here and do something like do record. So let's say we actually want that middle part to loop 2 times and then have the tail. We could record out a 4-bar loop now and do something such as we'll stay in TR Rec. Hit record. It's going to play. So first thing is first, we want this. Let's turn loop off. We're going to trigger that. I turned gate off too, just so it keeps going. But what we'll do now is select the second one. Let's turn loop off again. Bar 2, bar 3. Then you're going to hear, it's going to stop playing because there's no tail. It's going to sound weird. So now we just need to come in and on the 4th bar, add that tail. So I know it's not super fancy and exciting, but hopefully this will show you at least one way to get you that like first entry into the loop, which you may or may not need. It'll get you that actual loop component so that you can have some content that will loop forever in that middle part, and then have that tail so that you actually have a nice smoother way to exit a loop, but still have that effect, whether it's reverb, delay, or something else. Anyway, guys, thanks for stopping by. Keep making music, keep having fun. Remember, if it sounds good, it is good, and peace.